Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold. This is Psycho Gold Videos, and today it's Overlord Day! And after the way the last episode ended, I have been eagerly anticipating today's episode. So let's get into it. Last time on Overlord, we had the Battle of the Words, or the War of the Words, but every time I try and say that, I almost end up saying War of the Worlds, so I'm trying to avoid saying that too many times. We saw Ainz and the Emperor have words about forming an alliance and about trying to outmaneuver each other, and the Emperor realized very quickly that Ainz outclasses him and that there's very little he can do to win, and Ainz never really had any intention of doing anything to him. He just wanted to, you know, drill home the fact that they are utterly outclassed by Nazarick, and they've now given each other ambassadors to communicate with each other. Demiurge is going to be, you know, communicating on behalf of Nazarick to the Empire. And at the end of the episode, we also got the big reveal that Fluda is actually a man now aligned with Ainz due to the fact that he wants the mystical powers that Ainz possesses. And at the very least, he wants to understand how Ainz can, you know, be a 10th level god, as he put it, when he is struggling to get any higher than 6th tier. And that's a really interesting concept because he himself said that he's raised the Emperor since he was a kid. He's been his teacher, he's been his advisor, he's a hero of the kingdom. He is single-handedly the reason why so many other countries apparently won't challenge the Empire, because his magic is so absolute. And then Ainz comes along and completely, you know, dwarfs him. And it's the kind of power that he's wanted all of his life. And yeah, he makes the decision to decide to devote himself to being Ainz's student and betray his emperor / country in the process. But we also got the reveal that the Emperor had worked this out and is now trying to come up with a way to remove Fluda from a position of power, and he's also decided that the only way that they might actually stand a chance against Ainz is if he can somehow get all the other countries to band together and come up with the idea that they need to form an alliance without looking like the Empire is running the show, because obviously Ainz would flatten them before they could get the idea off the ground. I'm very curious to see what happens next, and just what exactly the Emperor plans to do. So this episode could end up being very light on the Ainz and Nazarick. It could end up being completely all from the point of view of the inhabitants of the New World. But there's only one way we're going to find that out, so let's stop talking, let's get watching. 3, 2, 1... Re-Estize Kingdom. Oh! The Sorcerer King, Ainz Algoon. Ah, so they're announcing this to the other kingdoms, I take it? But I thought the Emperor wanted all the countries to work together. How declaring war on the Re-Estize Kingdom isn't gonna help? Chapter 10. I can't read the rest of it. I'm guessing it's declaration of war or resolution of war, something like that. Yeah, I was gonna say, Gazef is the most loyal person there. Well, he defeated the Angels without any issues way back in the first season. And clearly everybody thought that those Angels were like ultra powerful. There's a lot of infighting among these nobles. I'm beginning to see why the Emperor got rid of them in his kingdom if they were the same. Yeah, I was gonna say, you... Oh! Okay, that I didn't know. Oh! Oh, that's interesting. Maybe the prince knew that. Or maybe it's just a happy accident, but even so. That is a baseless rumor. I love it. I like the way his voice changes inflections like it typically does when you talk to children of a certain age. Wow. Talk about being a little bit spoiled. And the way he talks to his, I'm assuming that's his wife. Oh, okay. 2 months later already. Fair enough. I'm guessing then that this is going to be, like I said, an episode where we're mostly going to be seeing it from the point of view of the inhabitants of the new world. But that also means that we're going to get a confrontation between these guys and Ainz, who previously has had no quarrel with them. Wouldn't bet on that. I don't think Ainz will be on the battlefield himself, or at least not to begin with. He may very well... Oh, that's a very modest estimation. Ha ha ha! I wouldn't go anywhere near Khan Village, friend. Oh, they're gonna send the prince there! That's going to not end very well, since, you know, he's just gonna find the goblins and the ogres. Very interesting. So I wonder what this guy's overall plan is. Like, he seems to be quite well... Well, the king is clearly a very good judge of character, because I don't trust that dude with all the scars either. Oh, so that's what's happening. The nobles have split into 2 different factions. Okay. Like, I got that in the beginning, but I was very confused as to why. Your motives are noble, my friend, but unfortunately, yeah, I don't think you're going to win. I was gonna say, everybody seems to like Gazef, even though he's, like, not a nobleman, I think. I remember that being a thing. Problem is, it's all kind of academic, because if they really are going to fight any forces of Ainz, they're a waste of time. If they're only going to fight the soldiers of the Empire, that could be very different. Then having Gazef, and maybe even Brain as well, if he's going to be brought out of hibernation, it's definitely going to give them an advantage. Always teaching, always on the go. I like the way that Brain is the only one not wearing full armor. Wait, they went to visit Momon? They asked him about Shaltia, okay. Are we gonna get to see this in a flashback? Yes, we are. Oh no. Oh, he wasn't home. I was gonna say, you could ask him to join you on your fight. You get I'm so sure that at some point Momon versus Ainz is going to be a thing. Because obviously Pandora's actor can play whoever's going to lose, basically. Oh, if undead roam in those plains, I'm afraid you're in for some very poor times. There's going to be a much more powerful undead than you're used to. Wow, okay, Brain. Okay, that's a really weird reason to stay in that armor, but alright. Oh, of course she has, because everybody's probably under orders to not attack the soldier that has that color armor. Oh, so Brain is going onto the battlefield, and that's good. Like, Gazef has given him a warning, so fingers crossed Brain will be able to get through it alive. He's never drunk before, fair enough. Well, I hope all three of them live to tell the tale. Oh. Okay. This could be problematic. Oh, this should be interesting. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh yes, the Death Knights. The very creatures that the Imperial Knights said they wouldn't be able to beat even one of them, and he's brought a whole legion. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, Re-Estize Kingdom. You're screwed. He is ultimately just looking out for you, because regardless of what he thinks, he still cares for you and doesn't want you to die. Wow, that's not cricket. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Overlord Season 3, Episode 10. And, there was a lot of talking in that episode. There was a lot of build-up, there was a lot of dramatic tension, and there was a very nice little bit there at the end. That's building the hype for what I suspect will be a very incredible next episode. And we only got 3 episodes left, and this week it actually is 3 episodes, unlike last week when I said it and I actually meant 4. But yeah, I think this is building up to be a very big finale. Obviously, we're going to see clashes of armies. It was looking like a very even clash of armies. However, the arrival of Ainz's Legion of Death Knights has kind of very much tipped the balance of power in favor of the Ainz Empire Alliance. I mean, those Death Knights are stupidly OP, as we've seen previously. So to have an entire legion of them, that's just ridiculous, and I can't wait to see that. I really want to see that. Even though I'm annoyed that he's siding with the, with the Empire. And we spent all that time in the other kingdom, with Gazef and Brain and Climb and the royal family. We spent all that time there, and now Ainz is actually fighting on the other side. But ultimately, if Ainz, gets what he wants, or does whatever it is he's planning to do, there isn't any reason why he can't eventually side with them as well, or just subjugate them, for want of a better phrase. But it will be interesting to see where the show goes from here after this war concludes, because I really can't see it concluding any other way than Ainz winning. Now, in the opening credits, there is a shot of Gazef fighting Ainz, and unfortunately, due to some spoilerific comments in both our live streams and on previous videos, I happen to know that Gazef does have some rather powerful items that he doesn't normally wear, that the kingdom has, that he might be breaking out of storage as a case, in a case of break glass and emergency items, that may allow him to tip the scales of power a little bit more in his favor than they currently are, whereas he's completely outclassed. Now, I don't know if that is for certain, and like I say, I haven't read the light novels, and this is only making assumptions from what I've read from people's comments, which I don't want anyone to tell me if I'm right or wrong, nor do I need any explanations / amendments to my theory. That's what I think, and I'm wondering, so I'm just throwing it out there. And it will be very interesting if they do have a confrontation that's more even, but I still don't see Gazef being able to win, but you never know. Maybe this is all part of Ainz and Demiurge's plan. I don't know. The only way we're going to find out is when the episodes start coming out. As for the episode itself, I really thoroughly enjoyed it, even though, like I say, it was mostly an episode of talking. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be, especially once I realized that it had started from the point of view of the Re-Estize Kingdom. It was interesting to see all the nobles interacting, because we really haven't seen that aspect. It seemed much more like the princes, the princess, the king, and Gazef were kind of like the main command structure, but now we've been introduced to their version of the nobles, and now it kind of changes your opinion of the Emperor over in the Empire, because obviously he got rid of the nobles because of all the problems that the king is now facing over in the Re-Estize Kingdom. And it's kind of interesting to see the parallels between the two factions. I also am very interested to see why the nobles kind of split in two. Like, I don't know what's happened there. What is the split over? Like, who sides with who, and do they not have faith in the king anymore? Is that what's going on? I'm very curious to see just what exactly is going on politics-wise. It's just one of those things that I don't think the show's dived into that much for their kingdom, so it would be interesting to see if any of the future episodes are going to cover it, or whether this is setting up for a later season or a later story arc that the anime hasn't got to yet. Either way, I still think it's really cool to do the world building, and that also goes hand in hand with seeing more of Gazef, seeing what other people think of him, and the fact that his word is kind of respected, and, you know, he has a couple of allies in the nobles, but not that many. And then obviously we got to see Brain and Climb again, and Climb is still not that powerful or aware as a warrior. But I'm really excited to see Brain in the fray. Like, I assume that Gazef isn't going because he's the king's bodyguard, but he's also their head warrior, and he has gone out, you know, when the king hasn't been gone out as well, because, you know, that's how he was first introduced in the first season. So it will be interesting to see if both Gazef and Brain go out on this fight, because that would be really cool. I'd love to see them fighting side by side, just cutting down legions of Empire's men. And maybe if they work together, they might even give the Death Knights a run for their money. It would be very interesting to see, that's for sure. I also like the fact that it immediately skipped the 2-month build-up period, that they were obviously, you know, assembling their forces. Originally I thought that that was going to be, you know, done in episodes, and that the 2 months was going to be done over the next couple of episodes, and then the big confrontation with the army would be the finale. But it looks like we're actually going to get the forces clashing over the next few episodes, which is good, because that hopefully means that it's not going to be really rushed, and it means that we won't just get a couple of scenes and then go into something else. But again, only time will tell on that one. Either way, guys, this episode has left me exceptionally hyped for next week's episode. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm going to be away as of tomorrow morning, aka Wednesday. Well, I will be here partly in the morning, but I'll be gone sort of midday, so I will be back next Tuesday. I will go and do my normal Tuesday thing that I do, and then I will be back for Overlord, so keep your eyes peeled. I will be posting next week's Overlord as per normal, and fingers crossed we'll be able to do an Overlord live stream next week as well. I don't think one's going to happen tonight, guys. It might happen, but I'm just going to stress right now that it's looking very unlikely at the time of filming this episode, so don't wait up, and don't, you know, worry about it, because I really don't think it's going to happen. I think the Anime Panda over on Twitch might still stream herself just to talk about the episode, so if any of you are interested in just hearing her thoughts, then maybe go and check her out. But I'm probably not going to be able to stream. DeeBeeGeek is at work, so if he streams, it's going to be like 1 o'clock in the morning, probably, my time, so I very much doubt that we're going to have our usual weekly stream that we've been doing the last 3 episodes. So if you enjoyed this particular episode, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and drop a comment letting me know what you guys thought of this week's episode. Like I said, I thought it was really good. Lots of talking, lots of setup, and a lot of really cool political intrigue that I enjoyed. But man, oh man, that ending moment when Ainz brought forth his Death Knight legions, that was just brilliant, and I cannot wait to see them in action, hopefully in next week's episode. And obviously we get to see the prince and his forces meet Khan Village, which will be very interesting, because that could go, nothing could really happen, or that in itself might not be the cakewalk the prince thinks it is, because they have goblins, they have ogres, they might even have Lupusregina still guarding them. And obviously that village is very important to Ainz, so if they think that they're being attacked by the prince, then they may very well, you know, call Nazarick somehow for assistance. which is actually something that I'm surprised that they can't do. Like, you'd think that there would be a way for them to get in touch with them other than waiting for Lupus to come along and sort of visit them, but either way, that's next week's hype. I'm really looking forward to that episode. If you're new around here, don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you can get notified about all the videos that we are posting at the moment, including next week's Overlord video and any live streams that may happen or may not happen in this case. But either way, guys, that's going to be it from me for today. As always, I am Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.